Are you looking for a lesson on keyword research for absolute beginners? Well, you have found the right video. Trying to find the right keyword for SEO can be daunting, and if you don't know where to begin, this is where you should start. In this video, I'm going to break down what the heck a keyword is, all the different variations, and also keyword intent, so that way you know that you're targeting the right keywords for your business. And if you're looking for a step up from that, you should check out my other video where I talk about how to do keyword research for free in 2024. And if you want to see a practical example, check in the description because there's a link to steal my SEO strategy. Why should you steal my SEO strategy? Well, my name is Sam Sarson. I'm the owner of Ben Can Designs, an SEO agency in Bend, Oregon, where I've been helping all of my clients boost their SEO rankings, which leads to more TLC, that's traffic, leads, and clients. So when you're ready, go ahead and steal my strategy. But if you're on this video, you're probably just at square one, and that's perfect. So whether you're a small biz owner or you're looking to help clients with their SEO, this is the video to start your keyword research journey. Let's get started. So what the heck is a keyword? I looked up a bunch of different definitions, and the best one I could find is this. It's a specific phrase that people use to search for information on search engines. And when it comes to search engines, did you know that over 90% of searches online go through Google? So pretty much whenever you hear the word SEO, and the SE stands for search engine, you should be thinking of Google. Here's the thing. If you're optimizing for Google, you're also optimizing for YouTube, Bing, Amazon, all the other search engines out there, because everybody's mirroring their algorithms off of what Google's already doing. So what is Google looking for in their algorithm? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows except for the software engineers at Google. However, we can take a guess by looking at Google's mission statement. This changes periodically, but the most recent version said that Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So there seems to be a push for accessibility, which is important. We want people to be able to access information, but notice it's still emphasizing usefulness. Google wants to provide the most relevant results possible for the searcher. And so the thing that people type into Google, that is the key word. It's really a key phrase. It's more than one word most of the time, but you want to make sure that what you're optimizing for is what people are actually searching for. That is the number one problem in SEO. What keywords are people actually using? And again, check out my other video because we totally cover that topic over and over again, how to practically do keyword research for free in 2024. So definitely check out that video. But if you still don't know the basics, keep watching because there are some definitions we need to go over. Let's get into those. So there's different types of keywords out there. There are head keywords, which is just one word. So let's say we have a web design company in Detroit, Michigan. Probably a fairly competitive word because that's a big metropolitan area. A head keyword for that might just be design. One word, and I'm going to let you in a little secret, that would be super hard to rank for. There are certain metrics you have to measure when you're looking at keywords. The three most important ones are search volume, which are the monthly searches for that keyword, keyword difficulty, which is usually an SEO tool's guess of how hard it will be to rank for that keyword. And then the last one is competition. Now, if you're paying for an SEO tool, you can usually get a better guess of competition, but usually I just judge it by feel, how many results you're seeing, how hard it is to rank. But you can also check things like how much is the cost per click when you search that phrase. And if none of this makes sense, be sure to subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep talking about how to rank, especially for the less competitive keywords, because that's what small biz owners are usually looking for, is ranking for those not so competitive keywords. Now, the next type of keyword is a body keyword, and those are usually between like 2 to 3 words. Again, these are still very competitive. So that would be like trying to rank for web design. And I'll just let you know right now, if you try to search for that, you're going to see stuff like Squarespace, Wix, etc., right? You're not going to be able to show up when people search web design. Now, that skips me down to the bottom of my table, which is called local type of keywords. Google will sometimes implicitly add your location to the end of your key phrase. And so I might search web design and it might say, oh, you meant web design near you. Let me show you the map pack. But the organic results are still typically things like Wix, Squarespace, etc. Now, the thing is, people have learned that over time. And so when we search for stuff, we'll usually search web design near me, or we'll actually put the city in because we've been trained to know that that gives us better results. Web design, Detroit. Web design, Bend, Oregon. These are examples of long tail keywords. And so those are usually 4 or more words put together. Long tail key phrases or keywords are nice because they'll still have a decent search volume if you find the right ones, but their keyword difficulty is way lower, which means you actually have a chance to rank, especially if your small business's website is newer. Now, another keyword I really want you to learn is LSI, which stands for Long Semantic Index. And all you need to remember that is a related keyword to your primary keyword. So our whole goal right now is to figure out what your primary keyword is. But once you have that figured out, you also want to figure out what your LSI keywords are and put that on your page as well. Now that we know what the different types of keywords are, let's talk about keyword intent. Keyword intent is super important. When we go to look things up on the internet, we have a different reason depending on our intent. So if somebody's looking up information, that's informational keyword intent. And that means that people are trying to look up information. They're trying to answer a question like how to DIY your site. At this point, somebody's still not sure they want to use your web design service. And so they're trying to figure out how to do it themselves, right? And so they're entering in these questions. Now, I'll just tell you right now, these words can be pretty hard to rank for because a lot of the big companies have monopolized the real estate on the search engine for these. And so if you try to write an article for how to DIY your website, you're probably going to be outshined by companies that have been around for years and years and have a lot of domain authority, backlinks, all that good stuff, and you just don't stand a chance. And so it's really good to actually start way further down the sales funnel, which we'll talk about here in a second, with things like commercial or local keywords. If you have navigational intent, that means you're typing in a keyword where you're trying to find a specific page on a specific website. And so if you look up something like Walmart customer service, that means you're trying to find the customer service page for Walmart, right? The next one down is commercial intent. That means that you're considering a purchase. You're looking for reviews, you're looking for options, you want to see what's out there. You're probably in the comparative buying phase and you're looking at a couple different options and you're still weighing on your ultimate decision. This might be a review like web design service reviews or best blank in my area. The last one would be transactional, especially important for e-commerce or service brands where it can be helpful for your pricing to be out there in the open so you can be more transparent. And so these people are ready to buy. So we don't want to get in their way. We want to make it as easy as possible by saying like, hey, our landscaping services are blank $100 a month. Are you ready to sign up? Here's the button. And last but not least, local search intent is when people explicitly put the city and state, if you're in the States, after their key phrase, or it's when Google infers, oh, you said barber, you mean barber in Prineville, Oregon, or something like that, right? So depending on what you're looking for, Google will present different results for you. And as the person creating content for your small business, you should be thinking about what intent will the user have and will my content match that intent? Now, let's talk about the sales funnel. This is what the sales funnel looks like. You start at the informational phase where you're trying to figure out, do I even need this? Do I even want this? And then you work your way down. And typically, the most important section is commercial. This is where people are making decisions. Now, I've heard different numbers from different places, but only like 3% of people are actually in that commercial phase. Like they're at the point where they're deciding which option they want to buy. But you cannot miss those people that are at the bottom of the sales funnel. And you want to make it as easy as possible for them to switch over to transactional and purchase from you. Now, I could talk for hours about what we should do with the other 97% of people. And that's exactly why my little mantra is TLC, traffic leads and clients, right? Right now, we're really talking about going from T to C right away. That happens sometimes, but other times we got to capture those leads. But we'll save that for another video. The most important thing you want to do is optimize for your commercial intent keywords first, and then work your way up the sales funnel. So you should be doing commercial keywords first. Once you've done every optimization you can do there, then you can start focusing on informational keywords with things like blog posts and resource articles. All right, so we've discussed the different types of keywords and the intent behind the keywords. Now, how do we know which keyword to choose? Well, again, you're going to want to check out that other video where I talk about how to do keyword research for free in 2024, because that's going to show you the step-by-step process. But I want to leave you with the rankability formula. And this is loosely based off of a lot of SEOs out there that are way smarter than me. People like Nathan Gotch, Ryan Stewart, Neil Patel, organizations like SEMRush, Ahrefs, all these videos that are out there. I've been just consuming this content over the last year. And really, I think this is the simplest way to break it down with the rankability formula. The higher the search volume and the lower the keyword difficulty and the lower the competition, then you are more likely to rank for that keyword. Now, like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to measure competition. A lot of the SEO tools out there don't really put a competition label, but a good way to measure that is to look at the CPC, or cost per click, and you want to find one that's typically in the single digit range. If you're like me or my small business clients, then that single digit CPC is a good number to see. Once it starts to hit the double digits, then you're looking at stuff that might be a little too competitive to dig into. So you're really going to be focusing on two metrics, and it's the search volume and the keyword difficulty. Very quickly, I just want to show you what this looks like in SEMRush. You can sign up for a free account right now and you get 10 free actions a day. So you want to click on the keyword overview tool, and let's just type in a keyword. So I typed in SEO Bend, Oregon. And by the way, if you haven't checked out my Steal My SEO Strategy video series, I'll have it linked in the description. It's pretty fun. I'm trying to rank for that word right now, so you'll see where I'm at live with that series. And when I search for that, over here in this panel, you'll see the volume, which is the search volume, and you'll see the keyword difficulty. Notice that it's giving it a 19%. Typically speaking, I like a volume that's above 100, but usually less than 1,000, because once it gets over 1,000, usually there's a lot of competition behind those keywords. But you'll have to gauge it for your niche. For keyword difficulty, I like to shoot below 30%. Honestly, the lower the better. Now, I did just say you want to go for a minimum of 100 for the volume, but sometimes it's good to go after those words that don't have a lot of competition, because those keywords you have a good chance to rank for. You might as well knock them out. But the key is to make sure you find your primary keyword. Again, the keyword research tutorial covers that in depth, so you can find out what your primary keyword is. And again, if you're trying to measure competition, look at the CPC over here on the right side, so you can see I'm right on the border of it being too competitive according to my metric of over under $10. But it's one of my main services, so I got to do my best to rank higher for that. And so that's what I'm doing. You own a small business, you have a great product or service that you're offering to your community, and you know you can help your local customers, but for some reason they just can't find you. And who'd have thunk this algorithm would be the separator between you and offering your amazing service or product to your community? Kind of sucks, huh? But don't worry. Now you know the basics of keywords. You know the different types. You know the different intent that people can have, and you know the rankability formula. So you know what to look for when you're doing keyword research, and you know where to look to find the resources so you can take the next step and figure out what your primary keyword is, so that you can crush SEO in 2024, get in front of more potential customers, and you can make your business prosper like never before. I'm so excited for you to be on this journey. And if you want to continue your journey, continue to rise the ranks of Google, I highly recommend you head over to yoursmallbizseosuccess.com and sign up for my free email list. People are telling me they're loving the weekly emails, all the tips I'm dropping in there, and all the content we're creating. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can see the next video on local SEO. And of course, smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And last but not least, I want you to take a moment and visualize exactly where you see your business going by the end of this year. And I truly believe that if you put a little bit of effort towards your local SEO this year, you will reach those goals. Are you ready? Let's do this.